Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, everybody. How's everybody doing? You know, I wanted to do this show last week, but I couldn't find the clip, and then the clip came back, and I was like, I found the clip again. I'm like, okay, great. We can have this conversation, especially on the back of the video that I did earlier about Miss Tia. Let me address something also. Many times I've said this, and I think I need to reiterate it. I am not here to spread talking points. I am not interested in talking points. I am not interested in absolutes. I'm not trying to feed a specific narrative. I'm not trying to adhere to any specific agenda. I am here to talk truth to my people so that those of us who are open to the truth and who understand the truth can apply it in ways that help them, in ways that actually benefit them in their life. Okay? Now, we talk a lot about, and I'm going to talk about it again today, how women will leave their marriages, many times not for very good reasons. Now, in my earlier video, when I discussed Tia, I said Corey is not perfect, and he's not. And I said that oftentimes when a very long relationship and marriage ends, both people have in some way, shape, or form contributed to that. And I think we need to talk a little bit more about that, because contributions come in a lot of different ways. You can actively contribute negatively to your relationship, or you can passively contribute negatively. You can be contributing negatively and don't realize that that's actually what you're doing. Most marriages are not destroyed by the big obvious things. Most marriages are not destroyed by cheating and being beat on and being from either side. That happens, but I would put that in the minority reason as to why marriages end. And I would say the bulk of marriages end because either one or both parties, whether it be the male or female, are doing or allowing things to be done that chip away at the marriage. The marriage fall because it be chipped at, not because a wrecking ball came through and destroyed an otherwise solid marriage. Marriages can be chipped away. The thing that seems small, the thing that doesn't seem very consequential, is often the things that break the marriage. I have been coaching too long. I have been coaching people through marriages for too long. I've watched marriages. I've been in a marriage. I'm in a second one. For the majority of it, when marriages break, it would seem as if there was no reason for the marriage to break. But when you start digging at the people and asking each party what was going on, what was their perspective, what was their perception, how were they experiencing this marriage, how were they experiencing their partner, they will tell you if they being honest. And they may not even know that they telling you what it is. Sometimes they know what it was. Sometimes they be like, well, man, you know what I'm saying? I was just doing this or just doing that or this or that was happening. But, you know, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. And it be the thing you don't think is that big of a deal. That be the thing that eats you. That be the thing that eats you up. The thing that you feel like was not that big of a deal. It wasn't that consequential. It's the small things that erode marriages, not the big thing. The big thing might come after. It be coming at the end. It be the little nicks and cracks at the foundation, the chipping away at the foundation that make a marriage fall. This is why I'm saying usually both people have in some way contributed to the downfall of that marriage. And it can be something so passive as I just wasn't paying attention, or I allowed certain things to go on and I just didn't think it was a big deal. So, but that was the thing that spent the block to bite you. That was the very thing. And it happens on both sides. Women do it and men do it. Women will do things seemingly small. In her mind, it's small, but there is a cumulative effect on the marriage that is negative. And if you confront her about it, she like, well, I ain't know, you know what I'm saying? I just thought it was this and that, and I just was doing such and such, such and such, and all I said was, and I've coached too many. Men have done it too. Man, all I was doing was, all I said was, all I was, and to him, it wasn't that big a deal. But it was a big deal. And sometimes people don't see that because hindsight is 2020. Sometimes you can't see it because you're in it. So it's appear a certain way to you. Sometimes people know what they're doing, and sometimes they don't. Now, in the case of Tia, I think Tia knew what she was doing. She understood it, what she was doing. Hold on for a second. Sorry about that. So like I said, in the case of Tia, I do believe that she understood what she was doing. I think that the bulk of the issues was her. Corey may have been indifferent to certain things that he didn't think was a big deal. But ultimately, those things cost the marriage. Because the way that I'm seeing it as things continue to play out is that she had a lot of foolishness going on. And I think that he was like, well, this is foolishness. Why you can't just, you know what I'm saying, not deal with this? Why are you dealing with it like this? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And he probably left it up to her to, you figure it out, because I don't like this decision and I don't like that decision. And it probably read off to her that he was being dismissive about her feelings and this and that. But he probably saw it as, you don't need to be, dealing in this and that anyway. So you figure that out. I'm just gonna continue to do what I'm doing, and you need to figure it out. And the way she figured it out was she decided, well, I just need to be free of you. And I think in that manner, he was blindsided by it. Like, I didn't think that whatever it was that you was going through in your head was serious enough that you would actually sacrifice our marriage and family for this. Because, and here's the standpoint that I'm coming from that from. Sometimes you don't need to ignore it, because if it's BS, you need to suss that out early. Suss that out early. Figure that out early. Oh, you can't be corralled off this BS. Every so often you bring this up. So we didn't actually resolve this. It's a problem that has not been resolved. Now, the resolution could be, we work on this, we work on that, and it can be resolved. Or if you done, tell me. So we can be done. If you don't want to be here, don't breadcrumb me my heartache. Give me my heartache in one meal so I can eat it in one go, in one sitting. I don't want to eat no heartache for no years. Give me my heartache right now. Let me sit down and eat it and cry and rock and cry and all this other kind of stuff I got to do to get over it. But don't be breadcrumbing me no heartaches now. Don't do that. If you don't want to be here, you got to go ahead and say that. If things just done bothered you so long, so you either leaving or staying. You one or the other. I don't like no 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That kills so many marriages. The 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm dealing with you and putting up with you, but I really don't like it, and I'm really not resolving it. I'm not even, it's 1 or 2 resolutions. Either I'm bringing it to you and we resolve it together, because these are concerns that I have, whether it be the man or a woman, it don't matter who. These are the concerns that I have, and we address these concerns and get it over with, so that we don't have to come back to this no more. If we have a problem in the future, let it be a different problem. We don't want the same problem for a decade. Who dealing with that? Who's doing that? And if the woman have flaws or the man have flaws and shortcomings, and you can deal with their shortcomings and you ain't gonna leave, but the shortcomings is annoying, but you still ain't finna leave, you need to go ahead, chalk that up. Charge that to the game. They got shortcomings. It ain't making me leave. It's just annoying. You find a way to get around it. It's up to you now to find a way to get around their annoying shortcomings. Especially if it's not a deal breaker. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that'll bother you. It'll bother you if you let it. Because everybody got shortcomings. No matter who you are, no matter how great of a wife you think you are, no matter how great of a husband you think you are, it is something that you are doing and that you are capable of doing, of getting on your spouse's last nerve. It just is. And sometimes you can address it, and sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's just your personality. It's just what it is now. You know, we got about a good 85% of what each other want. That other 15%, just we got to deal with it. Because that can be for anybody. Because what people find is that the grass is not necessarily greener on the other side. And what I mean by that is that you can have 85% of what you want. 15 to 20% you don't really like, but you can deal with it. Now, if you want to focus on the 15-20% that you don't like, what it'll do is make you minimize the 80 that you're getting. Now all of a sudden that 80-85% don't mean much. It ain't good enough, and you will ruin your marriage for that. And what you'll find is you'll find somebody else to give you that 15-20, and then that 80 be gone. Or you get some of what you want, but that 15 or 20, you can't put up with that. Them shortcomings you can't handle. I don't want that. You do what now? My last spouse ain't do that. And Tia experienced that because I did a video on it at one point where she was like, man, you know what I'm saying? These men, the way these men talk to me and this and that. And what she was thinking was Corey would never do that. I'm used to being treated a certain way, talked to a certain way, regarded a certain way. And these men that I don't have no history with and all that kind of stuff don't see me how Corey saw me. And so therefore they, talks to me outside of their neck and all kind of stuff. I just had myself at a certain kind of value, not to be talked to like that and regarded in such a way. So you miss what you had. She had 80. She had 80 to 85% of what she wanted. About 15% of that man got on her nerve. That's anybody. That's anybody. When you get with another man or something like that, yeah, he knew and all that kind of stuff. It's a new feeling, and you know what I'm saying, and all that kind of stuff, man. Get to knowing him and see you don't like him. Because you're not going to be able to do nothing but compare for what you had. She had been with that man 20 years. She spent all youth with him. Regardless of whatever his shortcomings was, she was still used to him. Now here she is in 2024. You done filed for divorce from that man like a year and a half ago, and you still crying on TV about it. Girl, don't nobody want to hear that. Do I think she'll be able to get married again? It's a toss-up. It's 50-50. If she get married again, he is not going to be Corey. She going to be looking for Corey, and she not going to find him. And that's the problem. She going to compare every man to Corey and all of his good attributes. Because now that she done graduated from the marriage, I'm pretty sure she can think back to all his good attributes now, right? All the stuff that, got on her nerve. He ain't around to do the stuff no more. So now she crying because, man, I gave up a good guy. That's what it be a lot of times. The folks want to spin the block. And sometimes, no, you got to stand on business because, nope. So it's about 50-50. Could she find somebody? Yeah, I guess so. is gonna be he is not going to be Corey though. He's gonna be a lesser man. She not gonna like him. Because Corey seemed like type of person stand on business a lot, and she don't like that. Tia don't like accountability because you done fell out with your sister too. So you falls out with folk. That ain't just them. You the common denominator. But I wanted to share something. I want to share this. This woman I thought was very interesting, and this is she gave me the inspiration for this show. I want you to listen to what this woman is saying, because she share a sentiment that a lot of these modern women share, which is why the divorce rate be so high. So take a listen.
I've ever been able just to be my natural self and be comfortable within the confines and of marriage. I've had to alter, change. I've had to compromise myself, compromise what I believe in, my values. I've had to sacrifice. I've had to work so hard. I've had to give up so much. It's like a deal with the devil. I look in the mirror and I don't like, who am I? What have I become? It wasn't supposed to be like this, but it's because I believed all these made up fantasies and lies about what marriage is going to be and how it was going to be this benefit, this wonderful thing for me. Safety, protection, love, identity. And the thing about it is all those things are beautiful, but you don't need to be married to have them. I just know with every fiber of my being that this is not for me. And honestly, I don't see how it would be something that would be beneficial to any woman, to be honest. I feel radicalized almost because I'm so different. I'm 100% different from who I was 17 years ago when I got married. And I'm a different person almost from the person I was 3 months ago. Like, I feel like my eyes have been opened and I see clearly for like the first time in all of these years. This is not the life for me. I don't think I've ever been able just to.
Now, if you heard what this lady said, I don't know if her husband know, but his marriage is gone. When they get to talking like that marriage gone. She out of there. She may not have physically left it, but once her mind get to that point where she call herself, done open her eyes and all that kind of stuff, and she can't see how it was ever a benefit, blah, 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 that marriage is gone. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It don't matter what he do at this point, what he has been doing, what he will do, what he want to do. It don't matter if he try to change. It's gone. It's gone. When they start talking like that it's a wrap. Let me explain something. See, she was like, she said the key. Oh, I was told that marriage was going to be a fantasy and this and that, and it was supposed to be this. Who told you that? Who said? Who said? Who said that what's the fantasy? What was the fantasy supposed to consist of? Magic carpet rides every weekend? What was it supposed? I'm mystified as to what the fantasy was supposed to consist of at this point. You've been married 17 years, ma'am. Of course you have had to. She said some other things. She said, I've had to compromise my values and I have had to compromise the things that I believe in. This is why aligning yourself along value systems is so incredibly important. Getting with folk for the right now because they're attractive, or because you're broken and you're trying to fill a void of some kind, or you trying to trauma bond with folks and all this kind of stuff, those marriages do not last, because those conditions under which you got married and the reasons that you got married for are liable to change. So therefore, once those conditions are changed, you're not even going to see that person the same way, because you're not going to be in the same space that you was in. So the things that was all right with you 10 years ago, not all right with you all right now, because you have changed and you seen things a different way and da-da-da-da-da. This is why you have to align yourself with the core values. Core values must align, especially for women. Because when you get married, there is a meshing of identity. And I think men go through it to a certain extent as well. But since I'm not a man, I can't completely speak to that experience, right? But I can speak to the experience of a female in marriage. You become your husband. You become him. Let me say that again. You become your husband. You become him. You take on his thoughts. You take on his language. I am saying stuff that my husband say. Okay? Even down to like his slang. You become your husband. You meld right into him. It's a mind meld. It is. There is a certain extent to which you lose yourself. It's supposed to happen. Now, that don't mean you don't have a mind of your own or things of that nature. That's not what I'm saying. But you meld in. That's the deeper part of submission. The deeper part of submission is the subconscious submission, not the conscious. Not the conscious decisions, but the subconscious submission. The melding into who your husband actually is. Who he actually is. Not who he say he is, not who he perceive himself to be, but who he is for real. You become that person. And so because of that fact, you're supposed to align yourself, particularly spiritually, particularly. Your worldviews, your value systems have to match, and they have to match in the most important ways. They must. Because if they don't, and you start melding into him, you are not going to like who you become, because you don't like him. You don't like him. You don't like the inside of him, his heart, his mind, his spirit. So you start not recognizing who you are, and you don't like the person that you became. And what you will do is you will blame him for that. I had to compromise, because there is no way you should be in a marriage where you're compromising your spiritual self. Why? Why didn't you get somebody that you aligned with spiritually? So that wouldn't be an issue, because it's going to be an issue. Whether it's an issue now, it could be an issue 50 years from now. It's going to be an issue. If you do not align with your husband, with the values of spirit, your spiritual value and your health, and y'all don't see family the same, and y'all don't see the world the same, it will be a problem. I don't care how attracted you are to him physically. I don't care if he got other leadership qualities that you like and stability. He can have all them other qualities that don't make him a bad person. It just make him a person that don't align with you. This is the problem with women getting with men for all these superficial reasons and these other reasons, and not paying attention to anything, and then figuring the rest will work itself out. No, it will not. No, it don't. It does not work itself out at all. It becomes a deeper issue the more time go by. That's why a lot of times marriages get rocky when kids come along, because the dynamic changed. And now you have to deal with each other in on a different level, and you don't be liking how to deal with each other. You don't like that person. You realize, I don't like how they do that. This is why the conversations have to be had. See, when we say the conversations have to be had, it's not a conversation about every single circumstance that could ever pop up. That's not what it is. But if you align at the core, you will be able to work through any challenges. that actually do come up, because challenges will come up. Challenges is guaranteed to come up. That's a guarantee. You're not going to be able to get past that. And it'll be challenges between you and your spouse. But if you align at the core, you will always be able to go back to the base, back to the basics, and start from there. Like, okay. Let's find the common ground. Let's find the common ground. We agree here. We agree here. We agree here. Now, where is it that we are experiencing the split? Where is that happening? And why is it happening? The other key thing that a lot of marriages miss is honesty. And I don't mean the blatant lies and lying about where you're at. And I don't mean that. I mean not being completely honest about how stuff is affecting you at that moment. Because a lot of times, and I find this with men and women, will experience something with their spouse that they didn't like, and it don't sit well in their spirit. But in the interest of trying to keep peace, they won't really rock the boat too much. But it's a thing that don't sit right in their spirit, in their heart. And let's say that thing come up, it show itself again in another way, and it still don't sit right. See, the honesty has to be, this don't sit right with me. This don't sit right with me. I've been trying to work through this one. I've been trying to work through it. I'm struggling. I got to be honest with you, babe. I'm struggling with this. Well, why are you struggling with it? You know, well, kind of struggling with it like for this reason. And you never know. A wonderful thing may happen. You might be able to actually work through it. That your spouse, your husband or your wife might be able to give you the reassurance that you actually looking for. Because a lot of times we just need to be reassured with each other. All of that, I shouldn't have to ask, and you should already know. Ain't nobody no mind reader. Okay? Ain't nobody married to Professor X. Listen, you got to say something. And I know sometimes those conversations can be difficult. Okay? I get it. I'm one of them people. Certain conversations are difficult to me. When I love you and care about you. If we ain't close, I'm liable to say anything to you. But if we close and I love you and I feel like you love me too, sometimes those conversations that seem like they could be confrontational, I be having to like struggle to even get to the point where I voice it. Right? Because you be trying to say it in a way that don't put the other person on defense. You know, I'm not trying to accuse you of nothing or anything. I'm not trying to say you're doing something wrong or you're bad. I'm just saying I'm struggling with this thing right here. And if you can help me, I'd be real grateful for it. Because a lot of time, I'm going to tell you where it come from. It comes from two places of fear. The first place of fear is being afraid that that person is going to reject you because you brought something up, because you brought up a concern of yours, right? That's the first point of fear. And the second point of fear is you don't want them to get mad at you and like minimize what it was or like misconstrue it. So it's 2 points of fear where that come from. But the other side of that is a strong relationship, or a relationship and a marriage that is built off of the right thing can withstand that. Because if your spouse really rock with you, there's no way that you can bring a concern, especially if you bring it to the best of your ability. I'm not arguing with you and trying to fight. I'm just trying to say this thing to you. That's the work of marriage. That other person, regardless of how they felt about what you said, can't turn the conversation into the feelings. We got to focus on what was said, not how I felt about what you said. And I find that most of the time women fall into that trap more than men do. If he bring a concern, it become about how she felt about him bringing a concern rather than the concern itself. So now we got to have a whole thing about you felt bad because I said this. And I urge women to don't do that. You may feel a way about what is said. It may make you feel bad, or it make you feel inadequate, or it make you feel some type of rejection or something like that. Nobody's saying that your feelings are invalid, but your actions, that's what you got to watch. Your actions and your words behind those feelings. We're all adults. So what you have to do is absorb the feelings, feel your feelings. However, we still got to talk about these apples. We ain't talking about dragon fruit right now. We're talking about apples now. Now, I know, you know what I'm saying, you got a lot of feelings surrounding the dragon fruits and the jackfruits. But we are talking about, let's deal with the apple first. Then we can talk about the jackfruits. If you need to talk about the jackfruits after we talk about the apples, I'm happy to talk about jackfruits, okay? I'm happy to do that. So the lady in the video talked about the fantasy. These women, y'all got to stop living in these fantasies. I don't know what y'all think these marriages are supposed to consist of. I don't know what y'all think they're supposed to consist of. I don't know if you think this man's supposed to carry you over the threshold like a new bride every day. What do you want him to do? And we know the men is not perfect, right? Nobody's perfect. He's going to have his flaws and things of that nature as well. But at the same time, what you want him to do? Because the reality is, he got to put up with your shortcomings. You're both putting up with each other on some level. And that don't mean you don't love each other. That don't mean you don't cherish one another and things of that nature. That don't mean you don't not 10 toes down. But you're putting up with each other to a certain degree. Some worse than others. But here's the thing. This is why you need to I go back to what I was talking about earlier. The little things that chip your marriage. If there is something that is going on and you follow that to its logical conclusion, if this keep going on, I'm not going to like this person. Think to yourself, can I take this for the next 20 years without saying nothing and without it bothering me? Because it don't seem like they're going to not do this. Now, if you know that eventually whatever this shortcoming is going to make you want to Bart Simpson choke this person, that's a concern that you have to say. That's no matter if it seems petty. You're going to have to put a voice to that and put some logic to it too. And this, I urge this for both men and women. I am not just saying this for the ladies. I'm saying this for the guys. Because a lot of times men will check out of a relationship. He just won't leave it. Now, I don't know what that is. But men will check out of a relationship mentally and emotionally and physically be there. Now, maybe the men can answer as to what that's about. But I've watched men do it, and I've heard a lot of men say it. I just didn't want to be the bad guy. I didn't want to break the marriage. I didn't want to break the marriage. I didn't want to break up the relationship, but I didn't want to be there no more. You got to be able to say, I don't like this thing. And the other person, I don't care if you think it's small what your spouse just said. If it was big enough for them to bring it to your attention, it was big enough. It was enough. So you got to take it seriously. I don't care if you think it's nonsense or whatever. They thought about it. And it weighed enough on them to bring it to you to say, I can't take that. I can't take that. I can't take that. So we either gonna have to fix that, or like, how we gonna fix that? Because I can't. For forever, we not doing that. We got to fix that. And there's something that I need to be doing to help you fix it. Or I don't know if it's just you or is it both of us. I don't know. But we got to do it. I love you. But we got to do it. We got to figure it out. We have to figure it out. Though that is the work of marriage. When we say marriage is work, that's the work. That's the work. Nobody can you can't dismiss your spouse. I don't care if you feel like it's nonsense or this or that. Because if it's for real nonsense, that lets you know everything you need to know. If a person just keeping up nonsense for the sake of chaos and for the sake of being foolish, you need to pay that some attention too. No use in subjecting yourself to foolishness for no reason. If a problem can't be solved, somebody don't want to solve it. That's what it be coming down to. Especially if this is a repeated issue from either side. If your husband got to keep coming to you to say something, if your wife got to keep coming to you to say something, that same thing over and over and over, then somewhere, somehow, it is not resolved. Now you got to figure out who it is that don't want to resolve it. Because is the solution there and we just not applying the solution? Or is we can't find the solution? Or what is it? Let me, I know it's a little bit late for it, but after these messages, we'll be right back. Because I need everybody to go to ashkicking.com to pick up your personal care products and this wonderful body butter to keep your skin looking and feeling its best. Whether it's summer, fall, winter, or spring, it doesn't matter. The skin always needs to be taken care of and moisturized, and no better way to do it than to go to ashkicking.com. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. Also, if this is your first time making a purchase, please take advantage of the 10% discount using a promo code Crimson at checkout. Don't know how many likes I am owed, but I owe you guys a bam, 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 bam. You got to hit the like button. Bam, bam. You got to Go ahead and hit the like button. Let me look at the super chats. Thank you, Uton. Say good afternoon, Sister Davis. When you say you don't do talking points, are you saying synonymously with a narrative or something else? When I say I don't do talking points, I don't like doing empty talking points with no nuance. If there's a new, because rarely are things such absolute black and white all the time. It be nuances to stuff. So I'm not here to I'm not here to push women are evil across the board. We hate these chicks. I'm not, those are talking points to me. My interest is going deeper than why does the talking point exist? And how can we turn things around in a real way? Talk about have the discussion in a real way, not in a way that make us feel one way or the other or make us feel vindicated. I'm not interested in creating the echo chamber for nobody. We have to start dealing with the truth. That's what I mean by I don't do talking points. Shout out to my members. Says Sister Kendra, just want to say thank you because your programs have definitely helped me in my personal life. Appreciate you. No problem. Hey, Mrs. O, say much love to you, sister. Keep speaking facts. Marriages work. It's not that fairy tale that women expect it to be. Thank you, Mia Bells, for your super sticker. I appreciate you, sweetheart. Shout out to Sister Beshua, said becoming one with your spouse is the goal. It takes a lifetime to do that. These modern women want instant gratification and a pre-made man. As a result, their relationships and marriages fail. Thank you, Too Tall, said right on. Thank you so much, Too Tall. I'll be seeing you with your contributions as well in the earlier shows, and I thank you for those too. And thank you, Sister Beshua, said communication is key to lessen the chance of misunderstanding. It's not what you say, but how you say it, using I messages, but stating I feel, because lessens the other party putting up defense mechanisms. That I agree with that completely. Also, the tone. There's a such thing as an accusatory tone. There's a such thing. And I see that many times people don't even know they're using an accusatory tone. Like, but I ain't say you did something. Yeah, but you implied it. You implied that I was doing something to you. Now, am I doing something to you or no? Shout out to Frederick, been a member for 4 months. Appreciate you. Thank you, James, for your super sticker. Appreciate you. And once again, the good Sister Beshua said the issue with a lot of modern women is that they envision and prepare for the wedding more than the marriage. When reality doesn't match what they see through their rose-colored glasses, they call it quits. And this is true. And thank you, Uton said, for me to have a better understanding of what you mean by talking points, when women say ninjas ain't ish or all black men are deadbeats, that's talk. Those are talking points. Yes. Those are just talking points. And they are often repeated just to get the audiences riled up and to drum up drama, to keep the support and to keep women, the certain women that go with that narrative, to keep them in the echo chamber. Yeah, men ain't ish. It's like confirmation bias. But if you're saying men ain't ish, why are you saying that? Are you saying just the men? Let's break that down. Because is there a percentage of men that ain't? Of course. But why are we focusing on them? What's the focus? You see what I'm saying? Comprehension, because I'm telling you, worse than communication is somebody that don't get it, can't never get what you're saying. I don't like people like that, period, that make a habit of missing the point. Because what's wrong with you? Why to read to you? Why is everything a misunderstanding to you? Why is everything mixed up to you? You know, no, you said such and such. No, I didn't. That's not what I said. That might have been what you wanted to hear, but that's not what I said. And no amount of clarification gets you clear. Mm-mm. I don't like people like that. Cause I feel like you're trolling. I feel like you're doing it on purpose. Cause there ain't no way you that stupid. You stupid? Cause I despise stupid people. Ignorance we can cure. Stupidity we cannot. Ignorance is cured with information and knowledge. Stupidity cannot be cured. I don't like stupid. And sometimes folks is willfully stupid. I despise that even more because you just want to be stupid. You don't even want new information to change your mind or give you no enlightenment or nothing like that. You like being stupid. I don't want to be around you because you definitely in the boneyard with that. You want to be stupid. How? Why? Why would you just want to be stupid? You know, I've strived all my life to avoid being stupid. Now, you know, I ain't always the brightest bulb, you know, in the socket all the time. But I ain't stupid. And I certainly don't pride myself on no type of stupidity. I want to know the answer. You know, if I don't know something, you know, I don't know it, you know, share with me, help me. You know, I don't claim to know all the answers all the time. I don't got all the answers. You don't got all the answers, Sway? Because it's a lot of foolishness have gone on under non-comprehension, a lot of misinformation be spread, and folks is stupid nowadays. All you got to do is look at social media and look at different comment sections, and you just see how folks run with stuff. They hear what they want to hear and all that kind of stuff. It was like, for real. Utah said, although you don't teach men, is there any talking points that you don't like what black men say about black women? I don't like the broad brush. All the women are hoes. No, we not. Female nature is bad. It's evil. No, it's not. All the women is gold diggers and just want your money and they don't want nothing else. That's not true. It's a couple of different talking points. That's why I say it has to be some nuances to stuff. It's got to be nuances to things. Is there a percentage of women that's hoes? Yeah, sure. Is it every woman that you come across? No. My baby said if it's every woman, you need to stay out the strip club. They need to stay out the script. Stop chasing scrippers. This is for all scrippers. Trying to get all the scrippers. While we dealing with just the scrippers. You know, if you deal with hoes, you're going to get hoes. But I ain't gonna hold you too much longer, y'all. I really wanted to go over that. I really wanted to go over that. The fantasy. I don't know what you better make your marriage a fantasy. The grass is green where you water it. The grass is green where you water it. If your spouse, if your husband or your wife, if you look at your wife or you look at your husband and you just can't see the good no more, ask yourself, are you watering that grass or not? Or you just think the grass supposed to stay green just because it's there? Everything need maintenance. Everything need maintenance. Stop thinking things is a relationship that's not a relationship. Paying bills is not a relationship. You understand? Going to work and paying the bills is not a relationship. Because you would do that whether a woman was there, a man was there or not. That's not no relationship. That don't make the relationship. I don't know what's wrong. I go to work, I pay all the bills. Okay. Cooking and cleaning is not a relationship. It's not. Cooking and cleaning not a relationship. One of the biggest hyenas I know was kept the house meticulously clean and cooked every night. Couldn't keep peace in that house to save nobody's life. It was constant chaos in that house. Spotless though. Dinner was cooked every night. Couldn't keep no peace. That ain't the relationship. That don't make the relationship. Stop thinking that stuff is a relationship that's not a relationship. Those is duties. Okay? Those is duties. You got to water your grass if you want it to be green. Instead of looking at everybody else lawn, ooh, they lawn green. Well, they over there doing work with it. You on AstroTurf. That ain't grass. Fall on it and see, don't you skin your knee. Water your grass. Yours. This go for the ladies and the men. Water your grass. It's a man somewhere that you don't think your husband and you know he better than and he do this over here. My husband don't do that. Stop comparing. That's the other thing. Stop comparing, folks. Comparison is the thief of joy. Stop that. Comparison is the thief of joy. You will not be happy. And you study looking around at what's going on. So mind your business. Mind the business that pay you. You minding everybody else's man. Well, he do this and he do that. Okay. And he might do other things that you absolutely cannot tolerate. You don't know that man. You don't know what he do. You don't actually know what he do. Water your grass. Flourish your house. Do the best that you can. You want your husband to get in better shape and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? His belly big and stuff. Do you love him, but his belly big? Women ain't the only ones lose they self. You know, it's a many a men. It would be handsome if his belly wasn't so big. Try to go do it together. Come on, man. Instead of looking at him, he don't look like he did before. Neither do you. So let's come on together. Baby, you want to do my little exercise with me? No, I don't feel like that. But come on, let's walk down to the store this time. Try to talk to him. Because you done had 2-3 kids. You got a fupa, beloved. It's turning into a gut real quick. 6 months is going to be a gut. It's not a fupa. After a certain point, that's not a fupa, beloved. You just got a big stomach. Okay, you got a gut now. Now, if you don't mind your husband big belly, that's fine. But if you kind of mind it, it's getting in the way, then we, come on, let's talk about it. You in charge of the home and the eating. Change the food in there. He'll figure it out. Why come you fixing this kind of food? Well, I thought we would focus on our health. You like that dish? Both our backs getting a little big, and we getting older. We don't need to be gaining all this weight. Marriage is work. This is the work we talking about. It's work all the time. It's the so-called small things that you have to work on so that little things don't accumulate into big things. Avalanches start as pebbles. When it be an avalanche or a landslide, you don't get the boulder first. You get the pebble first. It be the pebbles first. They fall. The little rocks, the little pebbles start falling. Some first you get a little bit, then it's a lot of little pebbles. It's a consistent stream of little pebbles. That's going to be a landslide. That's going to be an avalanche. If you don't catch that, it's going to fail. Got to catch that. Catch the problem when it's little and it can be caught. Don't be trying to address the problem when you get 1 foot in and 1 foot out the marriage and you tired of your husband and you're tired of your wife. You already tired. Now you want to fix it. You can't fix that. You done waited till you got tired. Thank you, L2 says salute. Thank you so much, sweetheart. And thank you again, Bethshua. So my husband and I pride ourselves in that in the 8.5 years we've been together, we have never had an argument. This goes back to communication. Yeah. And people would say that you lying about that, but I can see that. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.